Make sure you're recording. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what this is. It's the good guys on something brand new. Now, normally we can't mess up on different things because we do what we do and we're trained professionals. But now we got a whole new thing. We're on Stereo now. We're on Spotify now. We're on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook right now. We're on Instagram right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the good guys of What's Good America. And you know what time it is, man. It's time to go in on this draft the only way we know how. And that's ignorant. Now, it's just going to be real with you. Like, that's what we do. I got to go in the way we go in because how we go in is the way we go in. All right? Now, I am the sensational, pseudo-sexual, phantasmic. I can't say the other word because I'm pretty sure my mama gonna listen to this eventually. But I'm him and he is me and he is I. I am that. Matter of fact, for those of you who can see us on Zoom, I got the city boy workout going real good right now because I got the whole chesticles out and everything right now. But I am C. Turner. And my right-hand man on my left-hand side is still my left-hand man on my right-hand side. The terrible shirt wearing, the Chicago faithful, Mr. South Suburbs, Mr. West Suburbs, Mr. West Coast. He is the Bay. Mr. Number 6, Mr. Saturday Night, James Big Game Walton the Third. What's going on, baby?
Hey, what's good, America? Hey, listen, this is tripping me out because I don't know if you can see it on your side, Chris, but like I can see like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you talking, like your head is like, it was crazy. I was literally like looking at the camera, but I was watching your joint go at the same time, your avatar. Like you laughing right now and it's going. I'm like, yo, like we listen, America. It's Williams to the, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. We have come a long way. I went back and listened to that first show on Spotify. You could tell for real what this was going to turn into. We didn't know, but man, what a moment, man. And I want to thank Stereo for putting out something like this and everybody that's tuned in and listening right now. Can you hear me? Through Stereo, that's the main thing I'm worried about. As long as you can hear me through Stereo, I'm good. Everybody that's tuned in on Stereo, the 2 that we have or whatever, hey man, thank you. Because this is it. We're making our push now. We 1 year in, we on Spotify. The number is 10,000. That's all you're gonna hear me talk about is 10,000. We get 10,000 of y'all following us and viewing us, America. Oh shit. Let me just go ahead and get my first curse word out. Let's get into it, man. I was excited, man. But you know what? It's crazy. Chris, I didn't, why would I not have?
Why not?
Why would I not have enough screwball for like the anniversary of our draft show? Oh, wait. Psych.
Wait a minute.
You know I got plenty of screwball.
I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it at all.
Shout out Screwball. We told you we was coming for you. We ain't gonna stop.
Take that.
So what's up, man? I mean, we're here. 1 year anniversary of, we gave the do's and don'ts. And I don't know if like this is how connected but disconnected I am, because it's crazy when you like actually have to be responsible at your job. It has been an interesting couple of years. Thank you, Frito-Lay, for the opportunity. But I don't know, are they virtual again? Like what's happening here? We gonna talk about some other stuff, but have you seen anything like?
I've seen a couple things. Nothing's been concrete. I know that they said that a couple guys are supposed to be there. So like some of the first round guys are supposed to be there. Now it's not going to be a situation like it was many moons ago during our time where somebody gets stuck in the green room for an hour and a half. I think they're going to have like 10 guys there that are guaranteed to go early in the first round. And I think that's it. Outside of that, I think that for the most part it's going to be virtual, which honestly, I kind of prefer the virtual because you get to see the kid in his own element.
I'm sorry, nothing will ever, and I had to make sure that I looked at it just to see before we got on the show. Nothing will ever beat CeeDee Lamb. That is still one of the best things I've ever seen. I think he's still dating that girl. But I went and listened to that podcast, and we went in on her, and that shit was hilarious.
Listen, I don't want to interview CeeDee Lamb. I want to interview the girl. That's who I want to talk to. I want to know what she was trying to get that phone. I want to know what she saw in that phone that made her like, you know what? This is my time to get that phone. He can't pay attention. Let me get this phone. Hey, that's who I want to talk to.
You know what it made me think of too? Like watching the video again yesterday. It made me think of the old school songs, like some of those terrible songs that I'm just blessed that we had in college. I mean, CeeDee Lamb for real did the Heisman on that hoe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She got hit with a mean stiff arm on that one. A mean one.
I tell you what, whoever made that song missed his era. This would have been his era. Do the Heisman on that hoe would have been this era. That dude would have been TikTok superstar. All sorts of Heisman.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, let's get into this, dude, because now I know we live, man. So I want to make sure that we own it now. So what's on your mind, man? What's on your mind, Blue Hef?
So we even gonna pay attention to the time a little bit. We ain't gonna try to keep all your afternoon from you, but we're gonna try to go in a little bit. So we're gonna go at the draft the way we go at the draft. I'm not like the other pundits and everything about shout out to the White Claw, because when you're on the claws, you break the law. So we're gonna go into the way we do. I don't care about biggest ceiling and who has the biggest bust potential. I do care about that a little bit, but I want to know, and I know the order I gave it to you, but now I'm just gonna throw it at you.
Dude, this is us. Do what we do. We talked about
who
the show
is going to screw this up. Who's going to screw this up?
Are you ready? You ready? Watch
I'm
this.
listening.
Hold on. All right, here we go. Watch this, American.
Wow.
Now look.
Wow.
Let's be 100% honest. For those that will see the video, you'll get the laughter of my man Chris Turner here. I have doubled down on my Bears gear. Here's I have seen it happen. I was born in 1983. Okay. I don't really think I really watched my first draft or knew really until like 1994. So I think my first memories of Chicago Bears draft pick started with Rashaan Salam, RIP, who was actually a good pick. He just got the case of the fumbles. He was an 1,100-yard rusher. He was the rookie of the year. Good pick. But after that, it's deteriorated. Now, I was 11 years old in 1994. Okay. We chose Curtis Enis over Randy Moss.
That happened.
I went on Bears probation for 3 years. I wore Minnesota Vikings stuff in my high school for 3 years. I said, I will not root for this team until they draft somebody that I can get behind. I understand that. 1998, I was 15 years old, and I had the intuition to know that Randy Moss, when you watched him play, that he was going to be something
superstar.
Different. Like, there's no denying Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson. That's why they were not, that's like quiet as kept. It's one of the greatest draft classes of all time, first round.
Very true.
You've got Chuck, Peyton, and Randy in the same draft class. And they had a bunch of guys that were solid players. Like, I mean, Jerry always regrets it. I mean, Greg Ellis was a solid player. He just wasn't 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 160 yards on Thanksgiving.
Right.
He wasn't, 17 touchdowns as a rookie. So it took them to draft Urlacher for me to come back and be a Bears fan.
I don't blame you.
Like, everybody, like, this is my thing about all this shit, Chris. And I think about it, just the way social media is now, especially Chicago social media. There is nothing like us Chicago fans because we'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all are missing the boat. Like I was doing, I'm telling you, my 20-year reunion's coming up. I'm telling you, there's people that didn't even know I was a Bears fan the last year in high school because all I did was wear a Randy Moss jersey every week.
I don't blame you.
So what I'm saying is, America, there's a good chance the Bears are gonna fuck this up. I'm sorry, Mama. Sorry, Mama Sharon and Mama. I know I'm live, but this is serious. I watched us not have the audacity to make sure that we took Aaron Donald. I watched Aaron Donald get picked the draft before us, like the pick before us, generational. And I go, you take Aaron Donald in that draft, the wide receiver. I have witnesses because all my roommates were there. We watched that draft. That was 20. I'll never forget it. It was the last year I think the Rams were in St. Louis. Going into the 2014 season, I said, "Oh, we had an okay season. We're picking 14th. Like Aaron Donald, like he's not the measurables, but you watch him at Pittsburgh. Anybody knows football, because Aaron Donald's only about 6'1", 285. So it's all about he's not 6'4". He's not 325, but you watch him play and you go, this dude is crazy. And I know you knew that too, Blue, when he came out.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
There you are, Blue. Okay, yeah. So, we live, America. I couldn't hear Blue. I was like, hey, where's Chris Turner? All right, go ahead, man.
So that's a fact. I mean, you can just look at Aaron Donald and see like if he wasn't going to be a perennial all-pro player, he was going to be a perennial all-pro player. Like it's just God. Look at the man. But you got the Bears screwing this up.
I mean, Chris, look, Kevin White, who I was adamant on, you do not draft players from West Virginia. You don't.
No, you don't.
It is the curse of Pac-Man Jones. It is. I don't disagree. Look, Steve Slayton, offensive rookie of the year, next year, nowhere to be found. Arian Foster comes out of nowhere and just becomes a darling. Pat White never makes it. Like Owen Schmidt, out of the league from concussing himself, from hitting himself in the head with a helmet. He was a dude who used to make his head bleed before the games and shit. He concussed himself out the league. All I'm saying is you don't do that. We had a chance to draft Leonard Williams. We had a chance to at least get Vic Beasley when he had his 16 sacks. Like, we could have had these things.
Yeah.
We continually don't draft. Our last decent pick was Kyle Long. That's the last decent pick the Bears have had in the first round that I can think of.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at with this, Chris. So I'm going to get off my team because I'm saying they're most likely, but I got a feeling they're going to really piss me off.
Here's my thing. I agree with you with the Bears, but just to add to this conversation, I'm going to say that
keep losing you.
Here we go.
What's going on with your service, man? You make way more.
My Wi-Fi. Dude, I got to get my Wi-Fi fixed immediately. I'm going to say that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to screw this up.
That's not possible.
Here's why. You're going to get the quarterback of the future. And I don't believe you're going to build, and matter of fact, I'll give it the next 3 drafts. You're not going to build enough around him to make this kid successful, which is Intel is going to screw this kid's future up possibly. Now, he could be, and this is not a shot on Phillip Rivers at all. He could be the next Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers puts up amazing numbers, but really has nothing to show for it.
Well, besides being a first ballot Hall of Famer, I'll tell you what, I'll take Phillip Rivers. I'll take a Phillips River career. I actually was for some reason, listening to the radio here, because the Niners have been the entire wave, obviously around here. And you know what's crazy? They've been obviously debating on Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Like Trey Lance is
Mac Jones.
Like Trey Lance is the unicorn in this entire draft. Like people are really like, because he didn't play and he sat out.
Exactly.
People are really like, what, and obviously because you're in Big Sky country, I have Montana State in my family. I watched him play, and you just see it. Like, this dude. I think he's the better. I won't do that because I'm ruining the topic there. But what I'm trying to get to with that, Chris, is that like you're sitting here and Jacksonville, they can't mess it up. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So they were saying like they're trying to find Kyle Shanahan loved Matt Ryan, right? Like Matt Ryan got Kyle Shanahan.
That's his type of guy.
That's his guy.
Yeah.
So if he feels like he has that guy in one of these quarterbacks, and somebody was saying like, well, what do you get out of Matt Ryan? Well, you Matt Ryan type. Matt Ryan has like 50,000 yards passing, and he's been a league MVP, and he's been to a Super Bowl, and has won division titles. Like Matt Ryan's going to be a when it's all said and done, Matt Ryan can mess around and be the all-time leading yards passer. Like he can catch Drew Brees. Like
I don't
legit
disagree.
Can catch Drew Brees because he quietly puts up 4,500 yards passing like it's nothing, and he plays in a dome.
Yeah.
So it's like if you could get that, if you could get Phillip Rivers, who retires top 7 all time with the way passing is now, multiple playoff spots, best record in the league. I mean, he took the Colts to the playoffs with no arms.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
That's a great career.
That's a great career for him. But as an organization, this is not going to work out because yes, you're going to get possibly the next face of the NFL. Quite possibly. But the Jaguars don't really have a great history of A, drafting correctly, or B, keeping the talent. Because if you look at most of their guys, they are on playoff teams for other teams. So what's going to happen? They're going to get their guy. The pick's been in since whenever New York beat somebody. That pick's been in. Now, who else are you going to get? Because you need to protect the kid, but you owe so much money on your O-line already. Or on a trash O-line at that. It would help. It really help if you went and came and got a tight end, but you're going to be kind of strapped for cash there for a little while. So no disrespect whatsoever. What are you going to do? Pick up one of these Big Ten tight ends? Nah, that doesn't really fit this kid's style. Or you're going to go get somebody on the defense? Well, you're still strapped for cash. So I get you're going to have these kids on rookie contracts, but there's no, and this kind of answers my question for the next thing, but the Jaguars are going to screw this up because you're going to ruin T-Law. I'm not going to call him my real name. I refuse. Sunshine. You're going to get the kid, but you're not going to build around him. Like, you're just going to think he's going to come in. You got Urban. All right, this should be enough. All right, guys, go with me to AFC South. When you can't stop the run because King Henry is still it's King Henry. I mean, God, it's like he's bigger than your middle linebacker and he runs faster than your DBs. You got the Texans, which is a literal shit show right now. But you'll split games with them.
They'll be better than the Texans. I look. It doesn't.
I think they'll split. I think they'll split with the Texans.
That's going to be, speaking of the Texans, that's going to be these next 2 months, based on some things that I've read, it's going to be very interesting what comes out. But anyway.
So you got the Jaguars.
I don't think they can't screw it up with this kid because at the end of the day, he's going to be solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's like, of all these guys, right? Him, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields,
right?
Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, right?
Right.
Are Fab Five in this draft.
Yeah.
Of all these guys, he's been the most consistent player over the longest body of work, which is usually led to great careers when you look at the hierarchy of quarterbacks that have succeeded and have been drafted. You know, it's the guys that have basically been the pillars of the league now.
Right.
You know, your Ben Roethlisberger's, you know, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. He was a 4-year guy. He won a lot of games. Did very well. You know, Peyton Manning, who recently went to the Hall of Fame, 4-year guy. You know,
justifiably so.
You know, so I mean, like he fits, like John Elway, like he fits that mold of a first-round quarterback. Like I'm trying to think of first-round guys because you can't throw Tom as an anomaly. You can't throw Tom in there.
That's very true.
Can't throw
very
Drew's
true.
a second-round quarterback. Like the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game, and that was something I was going to bring up with you. Like I wanted to look it up. I was like, how many Hall of Famers? Like that might be something for another day. But how many Hall of Famers? Because it's like 340 of them. How many of them Hall of Famers are actually first-round draft picks? I would be willing to bet there are more second round and under, and maybe even lower Hall of Famers than there are first-round Hall of Famers in the like. It'd be fun to like. It'd be fun to like do that.
Honest. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna wait for you. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Every time you drop out, I'm like, oh, where's Blue?
I'm gonna be honest. I only care.
America, he goes and he comes back. I just don't know what to do.
Dude, I only care about one Hall of Fame quarterback, and that's Daniel Constantine Marino.
Well, see,
everybody outside that can kiss exactly. Everybody outside can kiss my ass. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yes, I'm a bit of a homer. Enough. I don't care.
I would just like to see like do the math. Like how many first round guys are actually in the Hall of Fame? Because there's only 340 of them, 350 somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just see how many of them like that'd be fun to like kind of look at that and see. But look, man, I mean, you know what's hilarious? Like, who would think that I would? As much as I'm a homer, I love my team. I don't like my GM, but I love my team. And I haven't liked him since he passed on Deshaun Watson and he passed on Patrick Mahomes.
He moved.
Deshaun Watson would be the trouble if he's in Chicago. Because wouldn't nobody let him do it? I mean, okay, look, let's just go ahead and do it. Dennis Rodman did all that shit in Chicago.
True.
Walked out clean.
With some titles. With some titles.
What is wrong with Houston? Like, that just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen in Chicago. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, that just speaks for itself. The guy was like, hey, I'm the guy. I know I played at Texas Tech. I'm the guy. But, you know, my dad was a pretty good professional pro. And that's what it is, Chris. That's another topic we could do. That'd be just hilarious. I'm just over here riffing. I think it's because it's like something new. So now I'm doing like the riff shit from like a year ago. The key to having a superstar kid, right, is being like by the standards of like you were a good pro, like you were an average pro. Like look at Del Curry, Steph's first ballot. Pat Mahomes pitched for 12 years in the league, played in the World Series, but he was never like a dominant starting pitcher or a dominant reliever. Like that dude just made a lot of money. And here come these kids. Because then you look at the opposite way, like look at Gary Payton Jr. Look at Glenn Robinson.
Michael Jordan's children.
Well, they didn't have
period. It's just they could have been better than what they were, though. They could have been better, though.
That's why I feel bad for Bronny, because I feel like Bronny can play, but like you're not gonna be better than your dad. It's just not. No. It's not even close. Like this dude is gonna be around, right? Like he's gonna be around and playing with you. Like that in itself is it's. Who would have ever thought we'd have seen the Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr.
I will say this.
Like, so, hey, there's another one. Ken Griffey Sr., Bobby Bonds. I'm just saying, like, America.
I'll say this, and then I'll get us back. I'll say this, then I'll get us back. With it, the best way to say this. So what I'm getting from this, if your dad is great, you really don't stand a chance. But if your dad's like average to okay and has like a decent shot in the league, you're gonna be a superstar. So I can get with that. I got no problem with that. Now, only where I differ from that is Wade's kid. Zaire, I think is what's the oldest boy's name? Dwayne Wade's kid. I think the oldest boy has a chance to be better. Now, the youngest boy, I'm not gonna make that joke. But the oldest boy has a chance to be better than Dwayne Wade. I think he does. And maybe it's just that Florida sunshine he has in his soul right now. But I just think he has a chance to be better. But that brings to my next topic in no possible way whatsoever, because we don't do transitions. Who is going to suck? Who's going to suck more? Is it going to be Sunshine, or is it going to be the quarterback that ran from Alabama, but then ended up running into Alabama and they ran into a buzzsaw, Justin Fields? Yes, I will find a way to mention Alabama. What you got?
I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem. I told you. I will say this on our first stereo episode. And really for me, the truth of the matter of it is very simple. It just comes to the fact that I have never, in watching him play, I don't believe in Justin Fields whatsoever. So that actually leads me to why I feel like the Bears are going to mess this up. Because he has been the one the Bears are linked to taking. And this is a direct shot at one of my dearest friends, one of my best friends, one of my teammates that I hope can make the wedding, my boy Daryl Reddick, who is in love with Justin Fields. Thinks he is the best thing. He thinks he's Pat. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Daryl Reddick, my best friend, great Bears fan, but loves Aaron Rodgers. Makes no sense. That's another topic for another day. You can respect, but you can't love your arch rival. That would be like you being like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Dolphins fan, but boy, I love Jim Kelly. I just love it.
No, God, no. I respect Jim Kelly. I respect Charles Barkley. I respect Bo Jackson. Like, I respect all these guys, but I would never root for them.
Yeah. And him, like, he openly roots for Aaron Rodgers in our text messages. It just, like, makes me seriously throw up. But the point I'm making about
go to hell, Cam Newton.
And
no respect.
Anyway, the point we have talked that, like, hey, go back and hopefully those are our Spotify episodes that Anchor, shout out Anchor for everything they've done for us as well. But hopefully those are episodes that made it onto Spotify. Because I have torn into Justin Fields in a way of this. I think he is very talented. There's no doubt about it. You can't be the number one player in the country. You can't play and make big plays for those type of programs if you're not talented.
Very true.
I believe he has the skill set to be all-time great. But I use this analogy, and I'm going to shout out my boy Steve Holman, because I did it, and, I don't have an iPhone, but I like when I can see, like, likes and loves or dislikes. You know who Justin Fields reminds me of?
Who?
Vince Young.
I can see
the only difference is Vince Young had clutch gene in him. He just ran into Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher is the reason why Vince Young was out of the league. I think Vince Young,
quarterback killer, with
the right coaching, could have had a 10, 11-year career and could have got a second chance. Vince Young had clutch gene, and he showed it his rookie year. And the year after that, like, he was a good player. He just, like, Jeff Fisher is Jeff Fisher. Like,
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it.
it takes a Steve McNair type of man to be able to succeed. And Steve McNair, as we have given love to the show, and RIP, of course, was a different animal. And means a lot to a lot of us and what he was able to do for his 13 to 16 years he played. So that's how I feel about Justin Fields. Like, and it's no knock on Vince Young, because Vince Young has some of the greatest plays in the history of this league wearing that Tennessee jersey. He had a run. But that's what I see with Justin Fields. He's at least Vince Young in college, his senior year, he was good the entire year.
It was
Reggie Bush was the best.
amazing.
Reggie Bush was the best player in the country, hands down. But Vince Young, I respect what he did in that national championship game because it hasn't been touched. I mean, I love what Joe Burrow did. I love what Mac Jones did recently. But what Vince Young did in that game, Vince Young in a championship game, it's a top 3 performance in the history of college football. And you can easily make it one. So that's what I feel Justin Fields' ceiling is, because I don't respect him as a passer whatsoever.
No. Not
one bit. And let's look at it this way too, Chris, as something that you love to do. This is going to feed right into your SEC ego. What is the history of Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL? Doesn't matter who the coach is.
Trash.
They make good analysts, though. I love Kirk.
I agree. Herbstreit's amazing. But as a quarterback in the NFL, like I have no confidence in Matt. I want him to do it that way. I have no confidence in him. Like the clutch gene isn't there. His nuts haven't dropped enough. Like, just because let's just be pretty clear about this. He has a year and a half of a full body of work. Now, I know you can pretty much say, well, Mac Jones too. I agree with you. I agree. But at the same time, Mac Jones got to sit behind, not NFL pro greats, but behind some college greats and learn the game. Justin was I'm not going to say he was full of himself, but he was so highly touted that he came in believing he should have been the man and couldn't outplay Jake Fromm, who got cut by the Giants or whoever the hell it was because of a tweet and he couldn't play. And then he ran. You ran to, no disrespect, you ran to an easier path to the championship. Now, true enough, you still had to play hard to get there, because I'll never repeat this again, and I hope that my Wi-Fi goes out when I say this, but the Big Ten isn't a pushover. But at the same time, you ran. You were in the conference where you could have stuck your chest out and been like, okay, I'm better than everybody in the country, and there's not a doubt about it. But you ran because you were afraid of JT Daniels. You were afraid of Jake Fromm. You were afraid of like the kid from who transferred into Georgia. So like I don't have faith in him because the body of work is not big enough. And like I said, yes, you could say the same thing about Mac Jones, and I will agree with you. But at the same time, me being a homer, me being a double homer in this situation, Mac got a chance and showed me that, okay, I came in Alabama a 3-star quarterback, which once again, if you look at Alabama's greatest quarterbacks, they've been like 3-star, 4-star guys. We just now, as of late, start getting these 5-star guys. But Matt came in like, okay, I may not play, but I'm going to sit, I'm going to buy my time, and when it's my time to shine, I'm going to do what I got to do. And Mac walked away with 6 rings. So it's 6 rings because you get a natty, then the college and all this other stuff. But I can respect that. And I can respect the fortitude of a man that's willing to say, because I couldn't do it. All right, I'll wait. But when it's my time, I'm busting everybody.
Well, that's the thing about Mac Jones. And you know how I feel about Mac Jones, because I have said it on the show. It's the first time I'm saying it live to everybody here. because, if you've watched or looked or listened to any of the past shows, it is my goal in life to make Chris Turner feel as horrible as possible anytime Alabama's on. That's just what I do. But what Mac Jones did in his 20 games, to me, when there's nothing better to me as a competitor, when you know you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, and you do it.
And you do it.
We watched the first 4 games of COVID college football, and we knew it was going to come down to Clemson and Alabama. And Ohio State, to their credit, and to Justin Fields' credit, Justin Fields, that's the best game he played his entire college career.
Yeah.
Period. If that would have been the national championship game, we'd be having a different conversation about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I would, even after, let's say that the Northwestern game would have been let's just say, hypothetically, if that would have been like a semifinal game and he played like shit in that game, but they survived, but then he stepped up on the big stage when the world is watching. It's COVID. The world is literally watching because there's nothing else going on.
Not a thing.
And what it did, what he did, but shit. Bottom line with Mac Jones is, I'll never forget the Alabama-Auburn game when Tua was hurt.
Yeah.
He played his ass off. Do you know what type of – and, Alabama lost that game by 3 points. I think he threw 5 touchdowns and threw a couple picks. Yep. And it had been his 3rd game and on that stage. And did he go, oh, man, no. He went and showed up to the Capitol Bowl and threw for another 404 touchdowns or whatever bowl game he played in. They beat the shit out of, I think, was it Michigan y'all beat the brakes off of that year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beat the brakes off of Michigan. You're like, and you watch him play and you're like, he's got it. Don't get me wrong, man. There's certain parts of this generation I love with the game because there's things these guys can do. At their heights and size, I feel like Devontae Smith doesn't matter. Devontae Smith transcended. I think he would have been good no matter what if he just would have had the touches and targets he's getting. He's that type of guy. Mm-hmm. He reminds me of Torrey Holt so much. But Mac Jones, you saw it, and you're like, dude, they know that it's them and Clemson. And Mac Jones knew, I can't flinch. I'm probably not going to win the Heisman. But if, all I have to do is go out here and throw the 4 to 5 touchdowns I'm supposed to throw. And keep these interceptions under 7 for the whole year. And I think he only threw 4 interceptions, or I don't know his stats, America. Incredible. And I remember, because Chris and I, this is all we do outside of this and work and be the family men that we are. It's one of those things. I was hoping your avatar was going to smile. I would have felt you smile there. I was looking at your avatar. But I watched every Alabama game because I had to. Because I had to see, shit. They're going to do this shit. And I'm going to have to deal with this because when Trevor Lawrence went out with COVID, I said, oh, Chris is going to have me for a whole year. I mean, I feel like Ice Cube's no Vaseline right now. That's how I feel about college football right now. I can't say shit.
Well, let's get back into it.
I'm just saying. So, Justin Fields, I want you to prove me wrong because there's nothing better than black excellence. I can always deal with being wrong. But I'm going to tell you right now, as I've gone to listen to past shows, there's a few things that I've said that have not aged well. Which was the first episode when the Nick Saban era was over. That didn't age very well. That sounds amazing on Spotify. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and apologize on stereo because Nick Saban's bitch ass used COVID to win. So well done, Nick, and well done, Chris Turner.
COVID.
That did not age well at all. So I'm gonna do what people don't do. America, this is what we talk about on our show, right? I'm live. I'm going to always be the man that I am all the time. I was wrong. I thought Nick Saban was not going to win another title. That son bitch won real quick. So shout out Nick Saban, shout out Alabama, enjoy it. And I can't start hatred basically until about week 8 because I don't even know what the hell to expect in college football. I don't know. I'm so depressed that Chris Turner got it. Not only did he get a national title, but it was an undefeated season. Like it's like what do you do? Like there's nothing. Like, I have nothing. All Northwestern had to do was beat Ohio State. If they would have found a way to beat Ohio State, nobody could have said shit to me for 20 years. God. So we live. That was my chance. And they D'd that boy up. So that's how I feel about Justin Fields. You want to talk about a bunch of 2 stars and 3 stars and no stars. And that defense handcuffed him. Oh, my ribs hurt. Oh, sorry, Kevin Hart. I love that part of you. I gotta steal your stuff when I put my stuff. We'd love to be on LOL Network because we'd be your sports hilarious podcast. Anyway, what's our next topic?
All right, here's the top 5 order of the draft.
Well, America, once again, Blue Hefner needs to reconnect. I'm telling you, dude, how do you have such a nice house and such shitty Wi-Fi? I don't understand this at all, Blue.
I'm going to call Charter as soon as this is over with. All right, here's the top 5 order of the draft. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars going first, the Jets, the 49ers from Houston through Miami. Then you have Atlanta and Cincinnati. Who's going to be, I just need one because honestly looking at it, there could be multiple. Who's going to be back in the top 5 again, drafting because they're going to suck this season?
You want me to go first, or you want to just go ahead and slam dunk this?
I can go first.
I can tell you who I can just tell you off of GP, like really, those 5 teams. I can tell you who's not going to be in there. It's going to be the Niners. The Niners will probably, if not make the playoffs, win the division. Because I can tell you right now, look. It's like time to do exclusives on live when we're going live, so I can get my ass kicked later by our fans. This is what we need to do, right? I'm going to go ahead and say things right now. Russell Wilson will not play a snap for the Seattle Seahawks this year. It's not going to happen. I think he's out of there. I do.
Wow.
I'm going to make.
It's going to happen on draft night.
Dude, look. That's the only thing where I'm like, Chicago, I'm going to go ahead and put this. I would rather be this dummy where I put this on and they don't. I'm telling you, somehow, some way, I've said on this show, it's either going to be Russell Wilson or it's going to be Aaron Rodgers next year. One of the two. I just don't know. Like something like shit is real. Like it's too quiet. Like Seattle, it's too quiet. It's too quiet up there. Like all that shit just got better. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
No.
But the Niners are going to be fine. Like they will be. That's a shit ton of injuries. They get Bosa back. They'll be all right. They're not going to be in the top 5. They'll compete. I think it's Arizona's division to lose. But San Francisco, I mean, they won like 6 games this year, or 4 or 5 games with nobody.
Hold on. I like the way you're going with this. So we'll do a process of elimination then. So you got San Francisco being out of it next year. Here's what I'll go next. I think Atlanta will win 11 games, 10 or 11 games, if they get the tight end from Florida. Because if you get the tight end from Florida, even though I know Julio's probably out of there, if you get the tight end from Florida, you still got one of the Ridleys over there. Whether or not you have Julio or not, I think they're decent enough at receiver. Everybody's getting healthy. That defense is good enough for that division. I don't compare them to the Bucs because right now what the Bucs did with returning everybody that started in the Super Bowl is ridiculous. But you got the Panthers and you got the Saints. I think the Falcons could make a run at it. So I'm going to say You got Matty Ice. You get him a tight end. You still got Ridley, who is one of the best route runners in the league. If you have Julio, you still got a good chance. So I will say, to eliminate the Falcons from being in the top 5 draft next year. What you got?
If they do take Kyle Pitts, who, I mean, it's unanimous. Like, short of some freak, like, crazy accident. This guy, I'm trying to find wood because there it is. Here's the deal, and this will be my. Everybody's on this. Well, if they take Kyle Pitts, they're getting rid of Julio Jones. I disagree. If they take Kyle Pitts, they're doubling down on Julio Jones's last 3 or 4 good years, where he can still be the guy. Where Julio can do that, because you got Julio, Calvin Ridley, and then you got Pitts. You know what that means? You can't double anybody. That's what Kyle Pitts does.
You can't go man.
Matt Ryan, like we just talked about, this dude has been in the NFL since 2008. He has over 50,000 yards passing. Do the math, America. If you take 50,000, and I think I'm rounding down. I think it might be higher. I might even go look at the
rounding
stat.
down.
You divide 50,000 by 8. What do you get?
I'm not
sorry, 50,000. Sorry, not by 8. 50,000 by 13. You know why I can help you? The first number in that is going to be 3, because 13 times 4 is 52. So that means basically he's averaging, by my 50,000, 3,900 yards passing a season.
And let me help you out real quick. Matt Ryan has 55,767 yards.
Watch how good this math is. So that means Matt Ryan is averaging, rough estimate, if he's 55,000, that means he's averaging 4,000, about 4,200 yards passing a season he's been in the league.
And then give him another weapon.
Basically what you're saying as a head coach, if it's me, like I get, like Julio Jones is a big piece to the right teams, like New England, you know, like there's teams that need that guy. I've heard Baltimore. Baltimore needs Julio Jones. Like there are teams that need Julio Jones. But if they draft Kyle Pitts and they don't get the offer they want, if you're telling me you can line Kyle Pitts and Julio Jones up, stand up in the slot,
it's terrifying.
Kyle Pitts runs 4.4 and Julio Jones is still low 4.4. You've got to bring your corners inside. Then you got Calvin Ridley outside. Okay, good luck.
All right. So who else you got?
I like that you took Atlanta out of there. I don't think Atlanta will be in the top 5 next year.
No.
The big caveat is they have to keep Julio Jones too.
Right.
Get rid of Julio, all bets are off.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But who else you got out? Okay, so we took Atlanta out. Here's the deal with Cincinnati. If Joe Burrow is in camp, I'll take Cincinnati out.
They're going to draft an O-lineman, that kid from Northwestern, most likely. Who is it? I say this begrudgingly. This kid is a dog. Because like he as a Northwestern graduate, a Northwestern scholar, he mopped the floor with the defensive rookie of the year in the NFL. So this kid is a dog.
Yeah.
So you're getting Joe protection.
We don't produce very many, Chris, but the ones that actually stand out and can play, you know you're getting a high IQ kid. Like, listen, I'm not going to say too much about myself on this show, but I actually qualified to actually get a scholarship offer from Northwestern. And quiet as kept, Chris Turner's played with me. I'm just saying, like it takes a little. It's a little bit different to get into that school. But
I agree.
So okay. Let's just stop the suspense. It's the Jets. The Jets are going to be back because they're the Jets. Like, why are we doing this? I was just trying to make a show out of it, make 10 minutes. It's the Jets.
Way to build up some suspense. Way to build up the suspense.
I thought we built it up, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna, it's like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this balloon. I've been waiting for this balloon all day. It's like that. Hey, actually, wait, hold up. You seen Emperor? I know you've seen Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Remember the scene when Cusco is a llama? And he was messing with the squirrel, and the squirrel made a balloon animal and pulled that safety pin out. That's what I felt like I did right there. I'll tell you something.
It's the goddamn Jets. They're not.
If I was the Jets, I would have thrown the kitchen sink at Deshaun Watson and dealt with everything that's going on around him.
Yep.
And been like, you know what? We'll take his suspension. That's what I don't get about all that. And that's a topic for a different day. Is like, I would have actually risked it all. And let's say Deshaun Watson ends up being guilty. Like, if that's what gets me fired, like, well, that guy is bona fide. I'm trading for that guy. And I would deal with the consequences of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, I think it's a terrible stance if he did the things that he did. And I want to reiterate that.
We both did. That's the stance for both of us.
If he did what he did, inexcusable.
Unforgivable.
But if he didn't, and a guy that already plays with a chip on his shoulder to begin with, I mean, there are two versions of Kobe Bryant. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not trying to sully the Mamba's name. But that's what Kobe went into. Kobe went into, all right, you hate me, I hate you too. That's when Kobe went into that mode of for real life. That's when Mamba
mentality was kind of born. When they all wrote him off, like that's when that shit was born. I'm gonna go in on the Jets. The Jets don't have enough picks between now, next year, and when your kid is born to have a successful team. Like, the Jets are so god awful, and I feel bad for whoever that. If they draft a kid out of BYU, I feel bad for the kid because he's going to get thrown into a shit show, a literal shit show, because you got a terrible to bad O-line in front of you. You have some okay receivers.
Yeah, they've got talent on the outside. Like, they got guys that can go.
Yeah.
Like, but
they can't block.
And I'll do you one better. Who are they going to stop? And then watch this. 6 of those 17 games. Who they got to play?
They got the Patriots, which are full strength, by the way.
And a full camp. You don't listen.
A full camp with Cam.
Cam Newton will play better. I can tell you that right now. You give him a full camp, and now it's like, hey, like, we're going to draft your replacement. So, like, now you've got the motivation you need so you can go. It's Bill Belichick. Like, go get your money somewhere else. Like, Bill's going to coach till he's like 95 at this point.
Right.
So you got to deal with that. So that means you got to go to New England. You're going to lose, like you lost this year. And Bill, at the end of the day, says, we do a lot of things, but we don't lose to the Jets. The only time they lost to the Jets is when the Jets actually had, a defense. I think Rex Ryan was the coach.
It was a Rex coach.
Rex Ryan comes from lineage of his dad, Buddy. And Buddy is the architect of one of the greatest defenses to ever play. And that team.
Yep. Oh my
anyway,
God.
so there's my Chicago reference. So you got to do that. And then, okay, now watch this. I'm going to save the best for last for here. And then there's another team in New York that's in your division. And they're going to be good for a long time. So that's 0-2 because Buffalo's pissed. You don't think Buffalo's mad? Like, dude, we had them.
We had it.
Like, you don't think Buffalo is like, dude, we will be in the Final Four of the AFC for the next 5 years. Stephon Diggs is like 28 years old. Like, they are young, and they've got good defenders. Okay? So that's 0-2. So you're 0-4. And then last but not least, arguably one of the greatest off seasons since like Jimmy Johnson trading Herschel Walker. My God, Miami. That's 0-6. They're not going to win a game in their division. So you're 0-6 off the jump.
Oh my God.
I hope we have Jets fans listening so I can just get a eat shit, we beat somebody. And I will immediately live on the air.
It sucks to suck, buddy.
Man, like, you almost feel like, dude, if Joe Burrow comes back, like Joe Burrow played well before the freak knee.
Yeah.
Like, he played really well. And, like Atlanta put 30-something on the Super Bowl champions before they lost the game. Like, if you've got Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, you always got a shot, bro. Like, you just do.
You got to punch his chance.
And then when you look at the Niners, you just know that was 100% injuries. And they still competed every game and played hard.
Yeah.
They got guys like George Kittle, like, showing up 8 weeks, like, put me in, coach. Like, they've got that, like, they love Kyle Shanahan. And rightfully so, because he's a good coach. And then who else is in that top 5 that I'm missing? And then Jacksonville. I just look, man, like, that would be the only other team that I would be like, they could be back, and it just all depends. If Trevor Lawrence can, they won, 2 games this year?
I got them winning 5 next year.
You win 5, you're picking 6th. Hey, are you ready? Are you ready for the bombshell? Let me flip your question. You know what teams I think will be in that mix? I think New Orleans Saints are going to be a top 5 drafting team. I don't think they really understand how good they've had it and forgot how bad they had it for a long time. Like, Aaron Brooks was a decent.
You realize how bad the Panthers are. Like, because that'll be 2 wins right there.
Dude, I'm not, no, because for 2 reasons. They've got speed. They've got good stuff on the outside. They've got decent stuff on the outside. And they've got a top 5 player when healthy. They do. Listen, that boy can play. And I told you this, and you agreed. I just had to figure out what year it was. He should have fucking won the Heisman. And you know he should have won a Heisman. That dude is top 5. When he's healthy, he's a top 5 player, and he has shown that. And I put it to you this way. I've always been a fan of Sam Darnold. I have. Just a fan, because I like the way he plays. So maybe, Jesus. That's how you can tell I'm so NFL out of it. Who's down there now? Matt Rule. Maybe Matt Rule can quarterback whisper to this kid. Because I think Matt Rule's a good coach. I think he's got a shot. Sam Darnold, he's got all the tools. He can do it all. So if they can do the right things there and because at the end of the day, they still ran the ball over everybody. It didn't matter. Like Mike Davis, I'm happy Mike Davis has got a 2-year deal. Like Mike Davis has got a chance to go be a starter somewhere now. They still competed. And I think Teddy got a shitty shake. I think if Christian McCaffrey plays all those games, it's a lot. Like it's still like
I agree.
America.
I agree.
I don't, like we could do a whole podcast on the complexity of the game when your best player's missing. Like, trust me. I know that. I played the championship game with a guy on a bum ankle, another defensive lineman in the CFL, and then our other stud, like, well, I'll do what I can, but my nose guard is beat the hell up.
Yeah.
He's on all sorts of shots. And the guy that was on the other side, that's why we were the best defense in the league. And then the rookie of the year what was it with EB? Was it like his spleen got lacerated?
A lacerated spleen.
EB didn't even play in the championship game. That's the only reason why they scored 64. And I love Ben and Luke and Curtis and all them guys. I have the utmost respect. If we'd have had our entire team, we'd have won 80-37.
Again.
So I know what Teddy went through. I think Teddy's actually in a good situation going to Denver, to be honest. They got a running game. They got a
receivers.
Defense.
A young
He's
receivers.
got a couple guys he can go to, and he can play in the cold because Teddy Two Gloves was playing in the cold.
Yep.
When he was in Minnesota, they weren't in the new stadium yet. Hey, baby, they weren't there.
Teddy Two Gloves.
So look, man, he's a Vic Fangio type quarterback. Like Teddy's not going to turn the ball over if you put him in a position to play action. He's got enough legs. So I'm sorry, Jets fans. It's all you.
You suck.
It's all you.
So we're going to go into the award-winning segment of Give Me a Minute. Jets, you still suck, but my Give Me a Minute will not be about you. Would you like to go first, or would you like to go second?
I'm going second. This is our first live show. I'm going second. Damn it.
All right. Let me get a chug of this old high quality because my city boy workout right now. Though.
Well, I'm just gonna look at my beautiful soon-to-be wife in 67 days. She just walked in looking all good and stuff like that. So I can get my motivation. I gotta make her smile with my Give Me a Minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, give me a minute. Folks who are listening, folks who are going to see this on Zoom, I need you to close your eyes. I need you to bow your head. I don't know what gods you may believe in, but I need you to pick one and just believe in them right now. Dear God, I feel as though I can come to you right now and ask for this because I've been decent the last little bit here and I haven't really asked for much. The Jordans I bought on my own. I didn't ask for those. I haven't got the raffle ticket and won and bought those. I didn't ask for the hookup or nothing. God, I am begging you. I've been a loyal fan since 1984. Please let us make the playoffs. All right. For like the last 10 years, I've been good with just as long as we go 8-8, as long as we go 6-10, maybe 7-9 this year. It's been some 3-13s. It's been some 4-12s. I mean, listen, I get it. We have the only undefeated season where we won the Super Bowl. And for most franchises, that'll be enough. God, I'm just saying, like, we had an amazing offseason. Got a bunch of quality guys. God, I just want to go to the playoffs. That's it. Like you let some of these other bum ass teams in. Like I'm not begging to win like the whole conference. No, let me get a wild card. If you give me a first round bye, like I'll convert, I'll do whatever. Just I need to go to the playoffs. Like I haven't bought Dolphins gear in 20 some odd years. I need the playoffs. In your name I pray. This has been my minute. Amen.
Hey man, that had some DMX tones in it, outside of this.
Rest in peace, Earl Simmons.
R.I.P. to Darkman X, man. That was a nice prayer, dude. And I feel like your prayers are going to be answered, because when they go ahead and I just don't think it matters who they take between Chase or Devontae Smith. I don't think it matters. You just get another weapon. And then they've got another first round pick, right? They got two, don't they?
Right, they can get Najee. Like you can get the two Alabama guys. You can get Chase. You can get not like it's. I'm not.
Just go get Najee. Go get your 3 down back. I mean, is it crazy we're on the same page as like Najee's gonna be there, and he's a first round running back. And he's been a first round running back since he came out of high school. Like he's a 5-star.
Pretty much.
So he can do it all. So I like that. So I mean that's actually perfect, because that's just exactly where I wanted to go with my give me a minute. Like you actually set me up. So America, as you see me on the Zoom, but you may not be able to hear it if you're listening live, I'm taking a sip of that Screwball whiskey right now. And I'm chasing it down with a little bit of White Claw, watermelon.
Oh my God.
Give me a minute. It's simple. I didn't really know what I was going to say live on the air. This has actually been very thrilling. And the fact that we're going to be done so early and I can go to bed early is even more amazing. Like, this is incredible. I love this. But as we're talking about the NFL draft and who's going to finish in the top 5 and who's going to mess up the draft, I am here to once again slightly brag on myself, but also remind the world of what just happened today. Very simply, it doesn't matter. The Super Bowl has already happened in the NFC. It's over.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's over. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody does in the NFC. It does not matter.
At all.
I said on this show, and I'm saying it live now, I hope people are listening. Go back, and I hope to God it wasn't one of those where ankle ruined it. I said whatever team Antonio Brown went to, it would swing the entire league. As we got closer, I said that they're going to the Super Bowl. I did predict wrong on Big J, so I'll say that because I did say the Chiefs were going to win. So shout out Tom Brady and shout out the missus because she's here. She was like, Tom Brady, bitch, all day. Could have seen her in there. She was over here cabbage patching, all sorts of shit during the Super Bowl. She had a ball. She won all the prop bets. It was terrible. I think I still owe her like $40. But let's just call it what it is. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, America? If not, let me help you. Tom Brady will hand the ball off to either Ronald Jones, who was 1,000-yard back, 997-yard back. He missed 3 games. Or Leonard Fournette, who ran for 500-plus yards in 4 games in the playoffs. In front of him is and was arguably the best draft pick in the draft. And we talked about him on this show, was Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. We knew how good he was. the old Donovan Smith on the other side. So his tackles are as good as it gets. Tristan is on rookie contracts.
Yep.
So by the time Tom retires, which is now looking like 2025 at this point, this mother, okay. I know your mom was listening because I saw a Facebook comment. So, Mom, I'm sorry. I got to drop it on that box. This, okay? This is a good MFer, Mom, okay? And of course, Sarah, I always apologize. And just in case, because I love her, Mama Pomeroy might be listening live, I'm going to apologize too. Listen, this motherfucker is poised to play to 50 right now. If they keep this up. Like, this is dumb. Now, his own line is set. Everybody's back. Now, let's talk about what he's throwing to. Because I remember doing this on a show and Chris going like, yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So here's Mike Evans, who has never had less than 1,000 yards a season. Every year he's been in the NFL.
Yep.
Oh, and we were smart enough to go, hey, Chris Godwin, we're going to get you more money. Yep. You're going to get the franchise tag. Like, stay healthy, buddy. Oh, and then wait, out there, it's just a Hall of Fame wide receiver with 12. I think, can you look it up while I'm talking? Like, just while I'm doing give me a minute. I think he's got to be right around, it's got to be like 12,600 yards in his career. And he's got to be like 97 touchdowns. And he's got to be at like 985 catches. Look at all that and interrupt me when you find it out. Antonio Brown's stats. Oh, he's on the other side. And then you got Rob Gronkowski, who is now in football shape. Wait. And then you've got O.J. Howard just hanging around because like, oh shit, I blew my knee out. But did you find the stats?
It's pulling up now.
Or did you just did I remind the world that O.J. Howard
I forgot about
one of the best tight end products.
I forgot
O.J. Howard wasn't even there the entire year. That's the offense. So I'll go to the defense. The entire front four is back. And what did we say, Chris, when we knew Vita Vea was going to play in that Super Bowl? We said, that's going to be a problem.
It's a wrap, yeah. Like, that dude is a problem.
The best linebacking, the best twosome inside is Levante David and Devin White. It is. Antoine Winfield waved at Tyreek Hill on national television in front of the world. They've got solid corner play. Is it Carlton Davis, or I think is it America? Their entire team is back with an off season. With, let's call it, outside of Tiger Woods, the greatest winner in the history of sports. Like it's Tiger Woods and it's Tom Brady. And they're looking at each other like, Tom's like, well, if I win 8 Super Bowls, we can have a discussion about like, there's no greater winner. Like, it's like Tom Brady, Bill Russell, and Tiger Woods in my eyes. What are Antonio Brown's stats?
For career yards, he's at 11,746. He's averaging 13 yards a catch.
So I gave him too many yards, 800. Sorry, Antonio. You'll be there next
year. He has 80 touchdowns. This is ridiculous, dude. Like this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like this doesn't make sense. I don't know.
How many catches does he have? 900 and what? It's 900 and how many? Because he's like he'll get his.
It's 886 actually.
Okay, 886. Okay, America. I'm sorry. So I put him a little too high on catches. I think I said did I say 900 catches for Antonio? I love that she was like, I was not paying attention to you fucking going into your shit. But she's like, I love that you picked the Tampa Bay to be back in the Super Bowl because There's nothing that makes Callie happier than watching Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I mean, shit. I mean, I can look at it now. Like, I really think about it. Like, this guy's played in 10 Super Bowls. And I look at my, my beautiful wife, and that's basically like half her adult life. She's watched Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I get used to that. It's like me when like Roger Federer is like getting old now. And it's like exactly. How do I watch tennis now? And the fact that I'm admitting I watch tennis, shout out to my dad. So here we go, NFC. It's over. It doesn't even matter. Well done, Jason Light. We're going to basically put you in the Hall of Fame of executives after winning back-to-back by keeping this together for another year. And here's the scary part, Chris, is what I know we're getting ready to sign off. They got guys that are willing to do it again next year. The only guy that would leave is Chris Godwin. And then guess who they can give Chris Godwin's money to?
Antonio. That's terrifying.
Well, it's been real, America, but the NFC decided.
Thanks a lot, Tom Brady.
No, thank you, Tom Brady, because I tell you what, the one thing about Tom Brady, I can always root for an underdog, because guess what, Chris? One of us is the 5-star and one of us is the no-star. Oh, so Tom Brady represents everything that's really good with James Madison Walton III. They call him Psycho T. How do you think Wayne's J was created? I love Tom Brady. Everything about him I stand for. You know what? Could be a decent looking guy and you marry up a more beautiful girl. Like, I'm good with that. I follow that model. I'm good with that. And then you make babies with it. Like, that's what you do. And then it falls back into the model of, you know what? Decent pro athlete. We throw these Pomeroy genes in here. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like a Klay Thompson's coming. That's all I'm saying.
With all of that being said,
it's basically ode to my fiance is really what happened on my first live show is what I just did right there. She's not even paying attention.
This has been the first episode of many on the Stereo app. We will make sure that we start putting more content on Spotify, because guess what, bitch? We on that too. This will be on Stereo. YouTube as well. Stereo, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow us, like us, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But regardless of what we on, it's the same question that we're going to ask. And Walt, do you know what that question is?
You know I do, Chris Turner, and it's the only way I could do it. What's good, America?
What's good, America? Oh, perfect. You can even share the show. Stop recording.